If you feel you've wasted your love on the wrong person, I'm going to give you some relationship strategies so that you can never waste your love again on the wrong person. Number one is this is a perfect time for you to refine the way you see love. All your philosophies have consequences. Love is your wanting for your beloved's happiness intrinsic to your own. How do you portray that in your relationships? Number two, how do you find the right person? You find the right person by not delineating between either friends or lovers, but beginning everyone as friends and becoming more significant or less from that point. If it's the first time you're watching this, my name is Ron John. I'm the author of Relationships 101 on Amazon. Find it. I'm the operator of the #1 Tantra therapy in Las Vegas. I'm the head trainer at Great Relationships University, and I've been a dating relationships consultant for over 13 years. What I want to do is I want to recap and go deep dive on what I just talked about. How do you not waste your love on the wrong person ever again? And how do you refine the way you see relationships so that you can have elegant ones instead of inelegant ones? And number two is, how do you find the right person? What is the right person for you? How do you know that? And how do you develop a system for that? So stay tuned. Number one is, how do you see love? Remember that I touched on it a little bit. All of your philosophies have consequences. Either you get from your philosophies, because your philosophies will show themselves up in your relationships. Your relationships is a reflection of how you perceive love. If it's a loving relationship, if the love involves unconditional love. How you see unconditional love will show itself up in the relationship. Now, you'll either from your philosophy get inelegant results or elegant results. Elegance is a confluence of effectiveness and efficiency. So when you have the wrong philosophy, remember, right or wrong philosophy is just a subjective epithet. Something you determine for yourself is either right or wrong for you, not for anyone else. You'll either get effective or ineffective results, or what was the confluence of elegance is effectiveness and efficiency. You'll get efficient or inefficient results. Now, in your relationships, are you efficient and effective? Or are you inefficient and ineffective? Now, I recognize you're saying, well, Ron, love is an art. I recognize that. There's a scientific and an artful approach to the way you portray love. And I'll go about that I'll actually go about that now. I said the word system just a few seconds ago. Why would I apply a system? See, people don't really apply systems in relationships. Why? It's because people only apply systems in things that occur often. Such as if you have a job and you do things repetitively, you start to form a system. Systems such as every time a customer walks in, you say, hey, how's it going? Welcome. That's a system. Because what's an ineffective way to do it? An ineffective way to do it is say, hey, what you doing here? That's really ineffective and inefficient. A really effective and efficient way is, hey, welcome to the store. How can I help you? That's really effective and efficient. Why? It's because it gets the outcome that you want. You get the answer that you like. You're wanting to find out what they want, what they're looking for, and then you can provide it for them. Really efficient. And you start to say, hey, that's really efficient. I'll do that the next time the customer walks in. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the store. How can I help you? Is there something I can help you with? Is there something I can help you find? That's really efficient. Now you develop a system for things that are repetitive, but you never develop systems on things that happen less often, such as meeting a new person or meeting a new love. But here's why I'm telling you should develop a system. Because systems knowing what to do in those situations systematically will get you the results that you're looking for effectively and efficiently, elegantly. So I want to go back to that in a few seconds. Let's go back to love, your definition and refinement of the philosophy about love. Love is one of those words that you've heard me mention that has no meaning. Just like all words have no meaning, especially love and those words that you use often. And then you say, what are you talking about, Ron? Words have definitions. That's why words exist. Here's what I'm going to say to you. You can test it for yourself. You can go to 100 people right now. You can go to 500 if you want. You can go to 1,000 if you want. You'll prove yourself correct. you will prove this theory correct. Remember that I never want you to buy anything that I say just because I said it. I want you to always test things that people say, no matter what kind of expert they are, no matter how much experience that they have. Always test, always take everything with a grain of salt. Some people you take with a table of salt. So you test it, you ask 10 different people what their definition of the most simple of words are. You can try love, and you will inevitably find out for yourself, hey, each individual who I've asked have 10 different versions of love. And I have my own version of love, which are contradictory to theirs. Not necessarily completely. Maybe they align a little bit, but they're different definitions. And if you were to ask 100 people, you'll find the same thing. You will have 100 different definitions. There are as many different definitions of words as there are people. In other words, every single person gives the words different meanings. The only way you get the same meaning about something is when you experience the same thing in the same way, in the same instance, in the same perspective. And then you give it the same word. You agree upon that word. Most people never have that. Almost virtually no one does. And so what is your definition of love? Here's a really good one. Here's a really effective and elegant one. You want to know what it is? Love is your wanting for your beloved's happiness intrinsic to your own. What does intrinsic mean? Intrinsic means the same happiness that you want for yourself. So you want that same happiness that you want for yourself. You want that for your beloved. What is the consequence of that? The consequence of that is that if you find yourself in a relationship, and then you do behaviors and you see behaviors from others that are not in alignment with that, you will question it, you will refine it, and you will correct that behavior. For example, jealousy. Most people, it's hilarious, see jealousy as a part of a loving relationship. And so what is jealousy? Jealousy is a compounded emotion of two emotions. They're not primary emotions. It's a compound emotion of fear of loss, and then the rage of fearing that fear of loss. That is what jealousy is. And then if you have the philosophy that love is your wanting for your beloved's happiness intrinsic to your own, your having jealousy is contradictory to that. It's antithetical to love. When you feel jealousy, or when you see they feel jealousy and you say, hey, don't you love me unconditionally? Well, let's see. Love is your wanting for your beloved's happiness intrinsic to your own. If you're stopping them from their going after things that they like, they want to admire, even if they're people they like, want and admire, having jealousy, preventing them from doing that thing, is a definition, is a demonstration of your lack of love. Do you understand? So your philosophy about love, you have to correct it now because it will portray in your relationships. You will waste your love on the wrong person when you have the wrong definition of love. So become clear what love is for you. For example, what is a wrong example of love? Well, if you find someone whom their definition of love is property, my definition of love, you ask them and they say their definition of love is that you are my property, and then I am your property. Well, some people really like that. If you really like that, good on you. Like I said, right or wrong is a completely subjective epithet, but that's going to give you some really interesting results. You will be treated as property, and you will take them as granted as property. And it's going to be really interesting. You will see that people that are more experienced with relationships have a more refined and enlightened perspective of relationships. And it's very important for you to see these perspectives because there's a couple of ways to get perspective. You want to know what they are? One way to get perspective is your own experiences and get perspective from that. But most people, they have really immature. In other words, they have really not very many experiences, which grants them not very many perspectives, not very big perspectives. But there's another way to get perspective. It makes you a really smart person to get this. If you're watching this video right now, is you're getting perspectives from the perspectives of others, from the experiences of others. Reading a book, watching a conference, seeing a webinar, watching a video like this one, increases your perspective, and which then refines your philosophy. So refine your philosophy about love, because it will show itself up in your next relationships, and you will not waste your love on another person because you have a clear definition of it. Number two is what is your system on finding the right person? What is the right person? So I want you to change the way you'll go about relationships from the standard being this person is either friends or lover material, boyfriend girlfriend material, husband wife material, sex or not sex material. I want you to change from going from that to this. You begin everybody as friends. And because you begin everyone as friends, what's your definition of a friend? Well, the qualification to become my friend is not really that difficult. We just simply have to align. We have to have some commonalities. I have to like you, and you have to I have to perceive that you like me, genuinely, authentically. And then I can see you, hey, this is friend material. And then they either become more significant or less significant from that point. When you align less, then they become less significant. When you align more and more, you become more significant, until which point you recognize, you stop and say, hey, we really align, we really like spending time with each other. We've been friends for many years. We're essentially best of friends. We're essentially best friends. And that's when you recognize if they're a person you're also simultaneously attracted with sexually, they become the perfect type of lover. And that is actually the perfect kind of love relationship dynamic that you could have. Your best friends. People say that a lot, but they never really know how to go about it in a systematic approach. There is no way for you to recognize whether someone is worthwhile meriting in your relationship unless you have a specific agenda. You can never go, hey, this person is a lover relationship forever and ever material. There's no way. Because you haven't really recognized what you align and don't align with that person. So it's a really efficient and elegant way to go about it. Remember, efficiency and effectiveness is a confluence. When you get the confluence of effectiveness, efficiency, you get elegance. I'm just showing you how to get elegant, a sort of love, a sort of relationships. So I'm going to end it at that. Remember that refine your philosophies, because philosophies have consequences, and whether you get the consequence that you like, the consequence of effectiveness of efficiency, elegance, there's some great things that you can take from that. Or if you want ineffective and inefficient results, you get that from having less and less perspective and less refining your results. Now, it doesn't mean that this is the perfect way to go about relationships. The right relationship for you is the way that you perceive is right for you, because everyone's different. Number 2 is, rather than go about either friends or lovers, see everybody as friends first, friend material first. And then they either become significant to you or less. And then you build your relationship from that. And when they essentially become best friends, then you might as well people just give words to it. You might as well call yourselves friends and lovers. Now, what I'd like for you to do is, number 1, I want you to share this video with other people, because you're helping make the world a better place by enlightening others. Though, when you make the world a better, when you have friends who are personally developed, relationships-wise, professionally-wise, your world becomes a better place. It's a benefit for you. Number 2, I want you to do is, I want you to go, I did a webinar. Go sign up for that webinar. And the webinar is called 13 Skills for You to Become a Better Communicator and Have Better Relationships. It's really amazing. Go to www.greatrelationshipsyou.com. I'll provide the link as well at the bottom of this video. greatrelationshipsyou.com. And sign up for that webinar. The replay is going to be up. And you'll see the 13 skills you need to become a better communicator and have better relationships. Until next time, bye-bye.